Oh yeah. Hello. Today we built this Galadriel dagger. Well, the last time we built this, then I thought, okay, let's build this as well. In the past we also had, for example, Galadriel sword and a lot of other stuff. Feel free to check it out, yeah. But with that one I actually got like the kind of glue gun melting cheap 3D printing idea, and yeah, it's not too accurate. Like now we obviously have seen the first episodes and so on, and this is kind of now something in between the sword Galadriel has in the beginning of the show, like where they are fighting the troll and the one dude is like holding it like boop, and she's walking on it and get thrown on the orc. Pretty cool. But like here you can really see how it started with wooden sticks in there, and you know, historical sword. And yeah, what I thought is to give you the tutorial of this in this again. 3 cameras, not 1, not 2, 3. And meanwhile, I will talk about episode 8. Episode 7 was okay, but episode 8, again, movie mistakes, logic things, not logic things, characters I liked, I didn't like, and so on. But in general, you will see that I was pretty positive, like it was pretty good. So there won't be too much to criticize. But a few things are, if you kind of go in and say, let's be logic here, then a few things didn't make sense again. So yeah, we should have a funny video again, entertaining, same time informative, because you get it. Yeah, like you see me again sculpting here, and again this is inspirational, you can put more effort, blah blah blah, but I even added, like, can't really see too much, but the 3 yeah, she kind of has 3 pearls in there, and yeah, it's pretty thick, but kind of gold and silver, and then on the others the handle kind of then has on the other side gold and silver. Yeah, it could be a bit thinner, but pretty stable, pretty heavy. And all I used are cardboard, tape. I added a few wooden sticks, but they wouldn't have been necessary, so you really only need tape, cardboard, and then obviously to make it this nice and shiny gold and silver aluminium foil. Technically you could spray it as well. I mean, this year I sprayed, and I like the spray and the wood definitely more. Like with wood it's really stable, and with wood you can even make like sharp edges, like touching it here is really sharp. Yeah, so. But this is kind of cool with these strings here. I like that a lot, just glue gun on it, and it's pretty close to the original like that. And yeah, just as always, you can bend it if it isn't straight or whatever. You will see in the footage me kind of making the handle slimmer, kind of just pressuring it together, duct tape around, like this. You really get this accurate bubble thing. Yeah, pretty cool. Can build it right now, watching, kind of maybe having me saying these weird, more detailed thoughts. But of course, heavy spoiler, I will talk about episode 8, Rings of Power, now. Give my general information, tell as well what is happening, so just like the last time. But at the same time, you get now a very detailed point of view of me building this. Pretty cool. And obviously this has a pretty cool meaning. I really liked it. What they will do with this, we'll talk about it later. And yeah, then I'd say let's get started, and much fun. Shall I put on the Arondir ring again? Like that, it looks good. Okay, so it starts with the stranger slash wizard and so on. Again, from now on, spoiler, watch the episode 8 before you see this. I will talk now about episode 8, you were warned. This can be this. So, we start with the wizard stranger, and I like the shots of him walking through the forest and so on. And he's in the Greenwood, yeah. So I don't think it's the forest where they are in Hobbit, but kind of cool having like the old woods now like this. Yeah, and he had the apple from Nori. This was like, from time to time I will jump back. Oh, and good that I'd say now. Again, it makes sense to make it chronological, so it's like me seeing the episode through, got my notes, and you can kind of now choose to build the dagger as well, or to watch the episode as well. No, that wouldn't make sense, but yeah, kind of, I will go chronological, so each time I see something where I want to say something, then I say something, so something like this. And because episode 7, yeah, was okay, but from time to time I will talk about episode, obviously, as well. Yeah. Because he got the apple from Nori, got Snow White vibes, Schneewittchen, and it didn't make sense at all in episode 7 that they were kind of the Harfoots / hobbits, I will say hobbits from now on. That they collected all these fruits, like they put them in their carts, and yeah, like they wouldn't last for long, these fruits, I think. Yeah, and then first, not logic thing, like this white wizard thing, they have seen the Harfoots in the last episode, and they were very evil, they were burning them, and now, like, how in the world shall the boss wizard, the white one with short, the Eminem, if you in the internet are calling her Eminem, and like, why, or where, how does she know that Nori is that special to the stranger? Like, and with the apple and so on, this is again a stylistic thing for the viewer. You watch it to make it more interesting, and you're building up attention, and you're like, oh, is this Nori? And then, oh no, bro. And again, for all who don't know this type of videos, I know that it doesn't make the storyline worse, and I know that it's okay like this, you know, everything is fine. At the same time, from time to time, I like it personally, looking at movie mistakes and looking at the perspective from a logic point of view, as if it would be real, diving in and then kind of saying, that doesn't make sense at all. Come on, like, why were the creators of a movie or a series like not thinking logically and more like, what could entertain the viewer? Because I'm more entertained and really appreciate a movie when it's logic and brilliant and creative and so on at the same time. When it's realistic and wow effect at the same time, then I really enjoy it. So yeah, like here, and she's pretending, and later she will pretend again, and we got a lot to talk about. Yeah, and she's kind of going down and showing her weird white eyes, and yeah, it's okay. And then again, like 10-20 seconds of building up attention, and the viewer doesn't know what's going to happen, and for us it's cool to watch, but for them, thinking it's Sauron and offering their servings, it's not a good idea to kind of scare him first and pretending to be Nori and being there and say doing nothing, and then are we going to kill you? No, we want to serve you, Sauron. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, then intro, and like this is now easy to say with who is Sauron and who I've said it from the beginning and so on, but I did, like, you can watch my oldest DAGGER video, Rings of Power episode 6 talk, there I already said Halbrand, and we'll talk about this later, but while I was watching it for the first time, I already was like, I won't go dive into it because it's no point of saying, oh, I'm that great, I've predicted it, blah blah blah, but the general character building up of the stranger wasn't Sauron. He was good and he was wizard-like, and yes, he had moments he once hurt Nori or whatever, but this is kind of the uncontrolled first wizard thing. He doesn't know where he belongs to, he doesn't know who he is, he's a bit crazy, he lost his mind and kind of has to get it back. Kind of like Radagast in Hobbit. He wasn't in the books, like he was an invention, but nevertheless kind of cool to like, wizards are incredibly strong, and if they are uncontrolled, they, like, we see later on how much potential he could have when they're kind of boosting him up, and yeah, you are Sauron, so do something, and brrr. So very powerful, very uncontrolled, but not evil. He is good, and yeah, kind of cool. And then Galadriel and Halbrand kind of hurt and almost dying, but never mind, he's on his horse. And again, cool horse scene in her very heavy armor, but no problem for the elf. We see a beautiful scene of the Elvish city, very detailed, much gold and white, and really liked it. Like, you have to press pause from time to time in this series and really pay detail to the things. Really liked it. Yeah, Celebrimbor and Elrond, yeah, they were cool in this episode, but yeah, Celebrimbor was like the weakest character in my opinion. Like, he gets manipulated by Halbrand, and he's like, we can't do anything, and then and so on. The reaction from Elrond that Galadriel didn't go into Elvish heaven thing with boats was kind of, yeah, not enough, I think. Like, they're just simply watching it and Galadriel, Elrond. Okay. Yeah, then Elrond get Elvish medicine. They actually, there's a pretty cool scene, like, where Halbrand is laying on a bed, and really much detail, but only a few seconds. And I know they don't have too much time. Kind of, they have to, yeah, bring a lot in one episode. But that would have been kind of cool to kind of have more storyline wise, if you think about season 2, season 3, when Halbrand will manipulate all other dwarves and so on. And yeah, I kind of would have liked this to show more of Halbrand being helped by the elves, that they really saved his life, you know? That would have been kind of cool, that he's kind of, yeah, that he has to be thankful, and that they actually are the reason why he kept living. Yeah, but he's simply laying, and one elf is like, and that's it. Oh, but actually we see a bit of them helping him. That's okay. Galadriel is still in her armor. Yeah, then deep talk scene between Elrond and Galadriel, and I kind of like this. Kind of talking about why you jumped from the boat, and what's your background, blah, why we have to keep on, what shall we do, and yeah, they are basically friends now. Later on we'll get to a very important point where they are kind of then at the same team as well. Basically, I can say now, in the end, Elrond knows that Halbrand is Sauron as well, and I was hoping that this would happen, because I kind of got vibes of that in the end of season 1, only Galadriel will know it, and that would have been very, I wouldn't have liked this, because this would then always be Nobody believes me. The humans won't believe me. The elves don't believe me. And Halbrand then would simply go to all other people and manipulate them. And here are my rings. And Galadriel will always be, no, don't trust him. He's Sauron. But nobody would believe her. But Elrond will. So Elrond, Galadriel's from now on very good. And before then really cool. This was because we thought now, or the general, the average viewer who doesn't pay that much to detail and who's not that much informed and who didn't maybe read predictions from other fans in the internet and so on, and he is now watching this in thinking that the stranger is Sauron. So from now on, maybe they didn't think at all that Halbrand could be it, because they think he's the king, because he smiled. He smiled, and so everyone was, okay, you are our king now. But now the scene of Celebrimbor and Halbrand, and me thinking 90% sure, okay, that's Sauron. How will he manipulate him? How will he go in there and kind of start all this? Convince him, Ayo, you should make a few rings and this would help the elves, and use this and this and do it like that and that. And I was hoping, Ayo, maybe we get some smithing scenes. Halbrand, he was forging the things in Numenor, all these swords and so on. He is pretty talented in craft stuff, in building stuff. And yeah, he certainly did. He first was like, who are you, Celebrimbor? I don't know. Oh, wow, you are Celebrimbor. Wow. So he was really gaining the trust and then really putting it in. And I really liked the forge and the amount of detail. Like watching the scenes again and press pause and just enjoy the amount of things they have laying there. That's amazing. And we see the 3 stones. This I wasn't understanding yet. Maybe you can write it in the comments. I don't understand. Like, they got mithril from the dwarves, but this isn't things. But then they have 3 gemstones, red, blue, and white one. And I'm like, hey, like, is this mithril as well? Like, what are these gemstones doing? Maybe you can explain it. Yeah, and then that was very cool, because I was wondering, okay, how will they do it? Like, what will be the actual reason that they managed to forge the rings and do this? But the idea of connecting gold, silver, cheaper materials, even though they're expensive, with this, because of the background of Halbrand, that was very cool. Really enjoyed this. And it's logic, like, it's, don't know if it's, yeah, no, he's saying that nickel in English, don't know. I watched it only in German until now, so don't know the English words, but connecting this, yeah. And he even said, when Celebrimbor says thanks for the idea, he says, yeah, take it as a gift. Like, he was getting so manipulated. In the first or second episode, Celebrimbor showed the plans to Elrond, what he was going to do, and that he was kind of building up this big forge, but I don't really understand why. Like, why did Celebrimbor need a new forge? What they have done there, forging these 3 little rings, they could have done in every forge, I think. And building this big tower, you see the tower in one sequence, that is one. And then we come to Numenor, and they want to draw the king, and yeah, I don't enjoy Numenor, the general Numenor scenes that much. They were okay, and the amount of scenes we've seen there, and later on the queen arriving and so on, it was okay. But if it would have been more, I would have gotten annoyed, because we basically just needed to go down, like water will float everything away. We know this. The white tree, a seed of it will get planted there, and then the white city will get built up later in Lord of the Rings, you know this all. And basically they only have to get all their soldiers and go back to Middle Earth. So the Blind Queen and the Landil and so on, they simply will have to get there. then, not logic, very stupid. They want to draw the king, and the daughter of Elendil, sister of Isildur, is drawing the king, and her drawing isn't at all what is there. But then he's kind of getting his vision, the king, and talking to her and thinking that it's the queen, and getting her, and she's shouting help. And I was like, okay, if the king, very close to dying, is laying there, and you have a bunch of random people drawing him, you don't know them, they have a peaky drawing device. Yeah, it's not logic that there are no helping people around and just waiting for something to happen. She's like, well, help the king, and nobody is coming. Yeah, don't know. Okay, and this is very important. I only got it second time watching this because a lot of this happening. But the king wants now, he thinks it's the queen, but he says it's to the daughter of Elendil. Go in there and look through this ball thing. They have a lot of the rings as well. Palantir? Not sure. We'll write it here when it's wrong. Yeah, and nothing more about this all season 2, season 3, but she will then get apparently, and I'm predicting now a few things as well. Like, this is okay, I think. Like, no spoiler informed and now predicting, yeah. Because we got the dude who said, oh, we have to draw him and we have to build up a thing, like this politician with these many. It was kind of funny. Halbrand struggled to get one of these golden, I'm a smith now, and he is like all golden round things. I think we'll get some trouble in season 2, where kind of blind queen and Elendil one thing, like he's literally now the eyes of the queen. Like, they're very close now, obviously, and she basically just wants to take revenge, so get as many soldiers as possible and get back as soon as possible. But then we have, on the other hand, now probably in season 2, this politician, where first thought he's kind of cool. I got the Master Gibbs vibes from Pirates of Caribbean, that he's kind of the good guy and kind of close to the people and giving a speech and so on, but he's actually manipulative. He's like the evil politician, I think. And then his son, and I could imagine that the sister of Elendil, now the daughter of Elendil, sister of Isildur, will now communicate through this Palantir, I think it's called, with Sauron, will get manipulated by him, will cause a lot of trouble, meaning that in season 2 we might see a lot more than simply, oh, soldiers come, we get more boats than 3 and get more horses on. We will get a few boat scenes again, and I was like, okay, did they leave their horses back in Middle-earth? Or kind of, maybe it's a boat like this and then a submarine like here, or the horses with several layers, I don't know. Yeah, but it will get, the queen will get problems. Like, the king is now gone, and she is now, yeah, like his father is down. Yeah, so maybe daughter will be against Isildur and her father. That might be very interesting. We'll see. And then very cool scene between King, Elrond, Galadriel, and Celebrimbor, and they're explaining everything to him, like, we need a round thing, and there was already, okay, wow, very cool that they didn't think of a ring first. They wanted to make a crown first, and only one device, and then 2, and later on Galadriel 3. Enjoyed this very much, to have this now forever. It's settled down, and if you had read the books, you knew a few of these things before if you were at it and so on. Yeah, but that's fine, having this now official, and millions of people now have the 4 story before the movies, and I really enjoyed this. And also like that Halbrand wasn't here. Kind of this was important and smart by him to now have the elves there and making their decision on their own and kind of just manipulating them in the right direction. But yeah, the king was, yeah, I generally liked all characters. They are very powerful, very nice scenery, nice lighting, nice clothing, all different. The yeah, amount of detail is just insane. But yeah, basically it's just the king is like, yeah, no, it's not worth investing the time. The elves will go down, and then a few seconds later, everyone say, please, pretty please, okay, you get 3 months. Yeah, and Celebrimbor is saying kind of, it's not about the body, it's about the mind now, a power beyond this, power of invincible world, and so on. Yeah, and Galadriel is kind of playing Sherlock Holmes in this episode in a few sequences, and then yeah, it was okay. Yeah, but from that moment on where she's asking Celebrimbor how you know these words, like why are you like that, I think from that moment on most viewers were already like, okay, maybe something is wrong with him as well. But again, seeing the forge and so on, doesn't make sense that they built this big forge thing. Yeah, and then after the king got convinced by diplomatical Elrond, he's basically just saying, we have to do this. No. Please. Okay. Yeah, we see very cool, nice, detailed shots of forging, and kind of one hammer is kind of the horn of a deer. Yeah. Yeah, and Halbrand and Celebrimbor are experimenting and choosing which cheaper material they want to use. Yeah, and they are then from time to time Galadriel and her playing Sherlock Holmes and the NPC. We got there I got Commander Spock vibes, like so hard. He was like, you're in your new quest. You need these documents. What do you want? Okay. And she's like, please give me the documents. And he's waiting 1-2 seconds. But yeah. But he was the most elvish guy in a certain way, like the actor and so on. Like all others are more or less humans, or I get more humans vibes in comparison to the elves in Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. But he was pretty good, and yeah, don't talk to anyone, give me the documents. But again, to Galadriel, didn't like it that much that she was that Sherlock Holmes mäßig. Like, yeah, she can have a few thoughts about Halbrand and be a bit concerned, but basically what they are doing now is saving her people, and basically she should feel very well, but she in 90% of all sequences she's not happy, and yeah, it worked, and yeah, we have an actual plan. She's more like, what is going on? I need those documents that prove that Halbrand is yeah. Halbrand is talking to her for the last time, where she believed him, kind of. And then we got the push-up scene by the 3 white wizard ladies, and he's not getting nothing at all. And from that point, the white one, before I kind of didn't knew what they were about to do, what they were coming from, but there, when this started, I already kind of got the vibes, okay, they will simply get wiped out and irrelevant and simply a side story that will end in this episode. Like, I knew that they wouldn't get season 2, nothing at all. Yeah, they are simply giving him kind of his mind back and showing him this stars that are only be able to see from the where the wizards come from. I don't know. So he kind of has his side quest now for season 2 with Nori later on, and yeah. What I kind of don't understand is he is even saying later on that they were saying the truth, and now they saying the truth and saying you are Sauron, and same time saying all these things that are true, kind of his origin and this age star thing, and that he's controlling the fire and he's having his force. Like, would I don't really understand this, how this makes sense. Kind of like, are they now? Don't understand. But that was pretty cool, and I think that a lot of people still thought that he might be Sauron because of this kind of very powerful, very uncontrolled, raging fire spark. And you got obviously reminded to the meteor scene. Yeah, they purposefully made him look very tall, and they were like, oh la 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 la. Yeah. And he's shouting. And in episode 7, when he was regrowing the tree, kind of giving the tree a direction, yeah. Same time, the boss white wizard lady, very powerful, setting him to sleep. That was so weird. That didn't make sense at all plot-wise, and they're like, from time to time, the things we say are in a way where you say, okay, they knew that it wouldn't make sense, but no problem, because it makes the storyline better, and then the viewer gets more entertained. But now here, you have to imagine, stranger / wizard gets down and he's sleeping now, and the one white lady is saying, okay, he will learn how to control his power, it will take some time, but till then, tangle him, like, you know, he gets, they want to fix it, but actually they don't, like, you know what's happening later, they are pretending, and the boss white lady is simply pretending to be him and got like, and they actually just lay him in the grass and do nothing with him. And so, you have to watch the scene again. It doesn't make sense at all, because they are setting up to prank the hobbits, the Harfoots, but they being so powerful, they could simply pull them out. I got so hard Star Wars vibes when the stormtroopers are getting shredded out by the Ewoks, by little teddy bears and their wooden piggies, wiping out the strongest army in the galaxy. And even she says this, fix him now, and he will learn to control his powers later. And then the scene starts where she looks back and thinks that she might have seen Murdoch, how's the hobbits, Harfoot. Yeah, then she starts seeing them. So she says that they want to, how's he called? Sadok. Sadok Brooks. Really like him. Like this actor. Actually, I want to say this once, because when it started, and if you watch this on the Cenedril channel there, I also said this is kind of cool, because my opinion about a few things changed. First, I said they could have used the old actors in that video. Now, opinion changed, because in a few scenes already, but not as well in the scene of the king, Celebrimbor, Elrond, and Galadriel, where I kind of where the king says no, basically before this. It would have been weird to have the actual Elrond actor from Lord of the Rings in there, because he is not too old. From visual, it would make sense actually, because they are already several thousand years old, and an elf doesn't change that much in later on. So visual, it would make sense, but all we connected to the actor would put him so much above all the others, and above the king even. So if the king says no to the old Elrond actor, like, Elrond would be so much. So it is a good thing that they are younger, that they're kind of this naive and young and a bit childish, and you have much to learn thing and so on. Kind of the Padawan, and you will grow later on, you will become much. So this opinion changed. And second, I said they're dark skin actors, and that this doesn't make sense, and that is still true. Tolkien, story-wise, makes no sense. An elf and a dwarf living in a forest without much sunlight, or an dwarf living in the mines where literally almost no sunlight is. It doesn't make sense that this skin would turn darker in the past centuries, thousands of years. Wouldn't make sense. Why? Still, I enjoy every single actor with that skin color in here. Very good actors, amazing. We got Arandir, we got the Harfoot, we got the Queen, the wife of the dwarf friend of Elrond. He didn't have an appearance in this episode. No, Durin. I love her eyes, I love her personality, this is so cool. And now I will say something that where I was talking to a few friends about this and so on, and this actually might change your opinion about this if you were angry till now, or were kind of because I understand it, like I'm a huge fan and I didn't like it that they do it, but now comes the point of view. Imagine a 10-year-old child, colored, reading the books, enjoying all this, going through all of this. We did as well, crying when Frodo gets stabbed by the spider, and really diving into this story, and now watching the series as well, and kind of going down in the living room to your parents and telling them, hey yo, mom, dad, me next Kirmes or Fasching, what means Fasching, I want to go as an elf. And they are like, no, you can't, because you are colored. Imagine that kid already having his cardboard ears and everything prepared, and everything. He's so much into this and loves everything. And then he's like, this whole world would shut down for those people if you would simply say, no, not realistic, not blah. And because of this, I think this is wonderful. And you have to also think, when Tolkien wrote these things a couple of years ago, kind of the general society view of those things were different back then, let's say it as well. And I'm 100% sure that if he would hear these new perspectives now, he would need 10 minutes to come up with a good idea, a logical reason, a side note in the actual books, simply explaining back then, a couple thousand years ago, from this and this other continent next to Middle-earth, a few came over and they can't cross lines, and this is why now we got so. Let's just pretend it that way. Amazing actors, adding a lot of, actually all of them are so good and adding so much. Really happy that they're in there, and yeah, just wanted to say this long, not talking about the episode, but this was important to me, because if you see this, you might say that I have this point of view, but yeah, really happy now. Yeah, okay, back to Stormtroopers and Ewoks. Oh, because the Hobbits are watching them, the Half-Woods. Yeah. So no, this is so cringe. 3 super powerful wizards. 2 are tangling the one, and all 3 are pretending. And the actual stranger is laying consciousness somewhere else, and you have this sequence. Seeing it the first time, okay, you don't put attention to detail, but seeing it the second and the third time, this is so. They put so much effort in this, but they could simply kill them in 1 second, and this is so stupid. Yeah, and the mother of Nori finds then the stranger, and it's like, okay. And the viewer seeing this now, and again, another scene where you're like, okay, you build up attention, and wow, and maybe it's supposed to be scary, and again, the eyes. I don't know if there were any people actually being scared by this, or. And she throws the knife, and yeah, that was sad. Not this, cause he kind of isn't dead instantly. He has a few sequences after this, but yeah. I think I could have kept him in. Kind of sad that he is not in season 2. By the way, armor-wise, interesting that one of, like, all 3 of them kind of have one thing. The one has a helmet, pretty cool build. The other one has the sign with the star signs on it, and the other one has obviously the staff. Kind of disappointed that the staff didn't get transformed. That would have been a cool idea. That stranger, when he's doing "No, I'm good," will not vanish them all and the staff as well, but would have transformed it into the very first wizard stuff. That would have been kind of cool. And he's doing Kamehameha with the stones, and 2 of the white ones getting, but the one is actually, yeah, I'm super powerful now. Now I go to the, and this really like this scene. Obviously Saruman versus Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, because there's not much special effect, not much like Dumbledore versus Voldemort. This was more like, yeah, less, but same time much more, like show even more. Yeah, and the one with the helmet is then throwing knives, and not logic that she's that bad, like all should be dead instantly. And also that she's not checking around and she's like, I have a dagger in my foot now. Ah. Yeah, this was so Stormtrooper Ewok. And then the boss, evil white wizard lady, drops her staff because of a stone, and the staff gets stolen, and then finally she uses a fire, but somehow she is not that powerful anymore. Because before in episode 7 she burned all cards same time, and now she's just and yeah. The whole scene of Harfoots versus them weren't bad, and I enjoyed it, but yeah, obviously not logic from our perspective. And then Nori is, come help us, take the staff. And then he actually had struggle. Like he first thought, okay, maybe I'm really evil and they showed me what I am, but then he decides for the good in him. Because this is kind of, we all, this is very cool, getting reminded to this, because Gandalf says this, that we all kind of have the evil and the good. I don't know if Gandalf says this, but basically it's true, and also in Lord of the Rings, that we all have the good and the evil in us, and we have to decide. Frodo has it, Gollum has it, Galadriel has it. Galadriel shows what would happen if she would take the ring in Lord of the Rings. Gandalf has it, and he as well. Kind of, he could be Sauron or something like Sauron, very powerful, very evil, very fire, but he can also choose the good. And because of the hobbits, because of Nori, because of the Harfoots. And he decides to take the staff, he decides to take away the fire. Yeah, that scene I could watch a lot of times, I think. I really enjoyed this. And he's looking at Nori, and yeah, that was cool. And he's saying, you came out of the shadows and you shall go back into the shadows. And this was the same thing like Gunnar says to the Balrog in Lord of the Rings. Go back to the shadows or something like that. And he's like, I'm good, yeah. And we actually see the actual form of the white wizards, kind of like the Nazgul kings, but something else again. Not the Nazguls, but kind of, yeah, skill and all that. Yeah, it said that his staff that his staff disappeared. That would have been kind of cool. That he kind of takes a stick from Groot and makes it his new wizard stuff. But he basically doesn't need it. Don't need it. He doesn't need it. Music and good Harfoot vibes, and yay, we are saved. Yeah, and Zadok is hurt, but he did his job. He guided his people. He kind of got a mindset change as well, because in the beginning he was like, no, you're not allowed to come with us, but then, okay, you can go in the end of us. What the Harfoots are doing in general doesn't make sense at all. Like collecting fruits and not setting up a house already. Yeah, but another prediction for the next seasons or what could happen. Eventually they will decide, hey, oh, it's a nice place here. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we'll build up at these green hills and go in there and build a few houses in there. Would have liked this. Wouldn't happen in season 2 or 3, but maybe because the film sets still exist, imagine having them in season 4 or whatever, being there, setting up the set again, but kind of younger, and having the Harfoots in there and building up everything and starting to building up everything. That would be very cool. Yeah. But this is kind of a movie stylistic thing, because you need in every series and movie, you need time to breathe from time to time. For example, in Ice Age, it's this, no idea how to say this, this little animal that is running behind the nut and from time to time. So where you can breathe, and this here in this series or in the movies have the Harfoots that between the action you can't have 24/7 action and cool and wow, that's so impressive. You need to breathe and have good vibes and settle down. And here you got people walking around through Middle Earth, collecting fruits, being there for their people, and very modest and very small. It's just us, the small world, and yeah, enjoyed this. And Sadok wants to see the sun, which didn't make sense at all. Like, it's dark and they are gone, and then now I want to see the sun and the sun is coming, but it doesn't matter. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Then we see the boat. It makes no sense with the horses, but that's no problem. Yeah, and this already said, like, Elendil is the eyes of the queen now, and I like this. He's helping her, supporting her. Trust each other. And they both now are kind of mother and father figure then for Isildur in the next seasons. And this is also a prediction for the next seasons. Obviously we will see how Isildur kind of gets bigger, and he builds up a city and Elendil builds up another city. And yeah, then it will lead storyline wise to the battle where Sauron's finger gets cut off. We will see a relationship between Halbrand, Sauron, kind of not too evil, because Halbrand, he will go to the humans, he will say, Ayo, I'm your king, here are several rings, you want them, they are nice, take them. Isildur won't get one, but obviously 9 kings, human kings, will get rings and they will become Nazgul. 7 the dwarves won't get distracted by the rings, they will only become more powerful. I knew this once. It is kind of something in the mindset of a human. He wants more power and get get kind of addicted to it, and the dwarf simply takes the power out of the ring as a magic device and becomes stronger, kind of. That is why the elves and the dwarves won't fall that much to Sauron, but the humans will. And yeah, we'll see forging of the One Ring, and what I wanted to say, Isildur's development to an actual cool king, and then how he will cut off this. We see in Lord of the Rings, cutting off the finger of Sauron, actually putting him down a lot. Like, if you think about it, Isildur is next to Aragorn and so on. He will be one of the biggest enemies or the most deadliest confrontations of Sauron in the future. That's kind of cool to think about that. And then as well, how Elrond and Isildur are in the mountain, and he could simply drop the ring in there, but he doesn't want to. All this will be set up in the series, I hope. Season 2, Season 3, 4, 5. We got a lot to see there. And yeah, here Elendil and the Queen Regent Miriel. Cynthia Ada Robinson is the actress. Get a bit Jessica Pearson vibes from her. Yeah, then the boats again. And yeah, black sails, and they would have said it to her. And this was the last Numenor scene, and I like this. Like, this was the point where I wouldn't appreciate it if more Numenor would come. But season 2 again, this gold blue, it's getting me vibes, something in between Greek, Roman, and Babylon, like the Biblish Babylon thing. Watch it. The Ishtar tour and the biggest mountain tower, where they are the Tower of Babylon and all that stuff. Like, actually watch a few videos about Babylon as a city, how it used to be. It was so brilliant, set it up for a lot of people around, and the water system and so on, and very old. And also like the boats, obviously inspired by Greek and Roman. And yeah, truly appreciate this. Kind of knowing that this is the origin of the White City around Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. Really cool. Yeah. King is dead. Very sad. We already knew this. Oh, and last scene. King and the politician with his 8 golden things here, looking at the king. We will know what he's planning in season 2, but I'm very positive that he will be a confrontation. He will be negative. He has his own plans now, and he's not happy that the queen arrives exactly at that time, and they will have confrontation, pretty sure. Pharazôn he's called. And lol. He's called Tar Palantir. Wait a second. Now I have to check. Oh my god, then the Palantir is called what? He is called? Is this black bottle called a Palantir? Yes. Oh my god. What? I didn't know this. I swear I haven't seen it anywhere. LOL. I definitely will have to make some research. We'll inform you about this, or you can inform in the comments, maybe a bit more, give a more background. So, but wow, now I was Sherlock Holmes. I was Galadriel. Tar Palantir he is called. Ken Blackburn, the actor. That is freaking cool. Then this is the first Palantir, or the black ball is called after him, and he obviously used it several times. Maybe he got a bit older because of this, or less. I don't know if the king is very old or not, but I could imagine both things, kind of with the ring, that the ring gives longer life, so this gives longer life, or it takes the life away, so the king actually would have lived longer, but because of this, because he used it that much and looked into the future, and he knew that Numenor will go down with water and all that stuff, kind of yeah, gives me Biblish vibes again with Noah synth flute. Yeah, but pretty cool. Like this storyline. And then we get a big boom. And first I thought it would be the tower with the king in there, but actually it's yeah, Halbrand trying to make the rings with Celebrimbor. Not sure if I think Halbrand pretended to not knowing that they would simply take gold. So actually Halbrand is not there. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Halbrand already knew what to do, but he didn't want to simply say, hey yo, you make 2 rings and you take this and this and this and then you go. Then Celebrimbor would have been like, wait a second, why you want me to do this? Yeah, he's clearly pretending, and now because Galadriel says, hey yo guys, chill, let's make a bit slower. And Celebrimbor is like, no, we have to make fast. Yeah. Yeah, okay, no, obviously. He knew it from the very first beginning. Yeah, and there, again, Sherlock Holmes, Galadriel, and the Spock elf got the information. And the camera shows Halbrand seeing this. I think, realistically, Galadriel should have been happy at least for a few seconds and kind of maybe help a little bit. Like, why is not Galadriel helping? Like, yeah, but she read the script and now she knows Sauron. That Halbrand is at least pretending to be somebody he isn't. Yeah, and I really like this. How Halbrand, because in every single sequence I already got the vibes from him being Sauron, so I really could look from very first beginning on how is he doing it, how is he, when is he coming close and what is he saying and so on. And obviously he is now, and I like, obviously Galadriel is in danger, like while they are talking and ayo, they got the solution, now we know the rings, there you already know, okay, Galadriel, run. Run. But, yeah, she says this and Halbrand is now, okay, she knows it, now I have to do something. That was really cool. Kind of, you think he is a human, but he is more. And actually like this now, we'll say a lot about this. But he's basically saying all that happened in the last episodes. He didn't lie. Kind of Lucifer vibes, that he's not lying, kind of like this, when the evil guy is actually not evil. I want to destroy everything, I'm that just evil because I'm evil. He has intentions and plans and goals, but at the same time not stupid evil, kind of Thanos snap evil. But Thanos was stupid because he snapped away also all half plans. But yeah, she kind of had the dagger. Actually it's smaller, it's much smaller. This is more like a Gladius. Yeah, okay, but she's like wah, wah. And he's just overpowering her in every single way, in the mind, in body, in magic, in, and you start thinking like, oh shit, yeah. And brother again, interesting, but okay, now we really have to dive in, and now it would get a bit complicated, but I hope that in the end you'll understand it. First, I want to make my biggest statement. Basically, Sauron Halbrand wants Galadriel to join her and really makes it believable that he wants to be good. He says Morgoth was a pressure, kind of Sidious Anakin vibes, you are forcing me to do something. I think Halbrand really wants to do good and really wants to, you know, become good, and shows Galadriel the vision of her with him, and says, okay, I would become evil and become like Morgoth, but with you on my side, you could be the good in me. We could rule, yes, but turn Middle Earth to something good. And now, boy, I have so many thoughts. As a movie maker, you have to be careful to not make the evil guy kind of too relatable, because then the viewer kind of doesn't know whether to go with kind of Anakin Skywalker or with the stupid Jedi that weren't able to see that Palpatine is Sidious and so on, kind of, and then seeing him to Darth Vader. Like, for me, it's way more interesting now to follow Halbrand and to see all his origin story. Plus, if you think about it, Lord of the Rings. The whole freaking franchise is called after Halbrand, after Sauron. He is the Lord of the Rings. The franchise is about him, and all others are basically side characters, other storylines. So, yeah. One other important thing from Galadriel, when she's asked, "You want to join me? Help me become good, stay good," kind of, it's not logic by her that she says no. First, if she doesn't trust him, she doesn't trust him at all, but it's better to stay close to your enemy and to watch its steps. And she knows that if she says no now, he will go away, he will go to Mordor, he will go to Ada, he will go to all his orcs, he will become evil, he will become... If she would have said yes, she could have been stay close, she could have given information to the elves, she could have known and know your enemy, and kind of saying no makes sense for us, because we know, oh, it's the Dark Lord and he's the evil guy, and of course you don't want to join him, blah blah blah. Realistically, in there, plot-wise, not plot-wise, but logic-wise, join him, of course. And yeah, all this scene with the brother, strategically from Halbrand, not cool at all, because if he is honest, then he would have simply sat on the raft instantly and talked to her. Why you want to trick her? This is kind of sad, I think, because this kind of says no to the theory that he actually wanted to be good. Because if he wouldn't have done this with the brother, which was failing obviously, first she's like, no, I don't believe in this, that it's true. Then she is believing it with the brother, and then again, no, not believing it. So because of the brother scene, kind of sad, because this shows that Halbrand is tricking and is not saying the truth and is kind of trying to manipulate. If he would have gone on the raft instantly and simply saying the truth and simply saying, hey yo, Morgoth was like that, I'm like this, I have these plans, let's make it together, cool. Yeah. So I'm kind of divided. He is evil, but has good intentions and is very, very cool character, like the actors, and yeah, like the actor, and yeah. So brother scene, and he's talking about the other guy. Okay, it's way smaller. Yeah, but I mean, you can build it smaller. If you see this, then just take less cardboard, less material, less glue gun. That's a good thing, I think. But it was very cool. I also like it when kind of a scene gets used twice, chronological wise. Kind of, we had the brothers Galadriel scene. By the way, he's called Galad or something like that. Galad and Galadriel. What was it called? Yeah. And now it got reused different, but yeah. Halbrand friend was crying, and I think he was saying the truth on the raft. And then again, I've said it in the Dagger video, crazy face, he broke the arm in Numenor, and the crazy face of him was pretty cool. Because there we see the full potential, kind of, we see the full potential of him being good as well, and deciding he has good in himself as well. Like the others as well, he can choose good or bad. And because Galadriel says no, this interesting, she says, you want to make me a tyrant, kind of an evil down-pressing leader, and he says, I will make you a queen. So for him, and this is what a lot of people have when they kind of fall for power, basically all ancient kings and Caesars and so on, burning all Rome down and so on in real life, and they fall for power. And Elrond is already at the point where he is not making a difference anymore between guiding people democratical wise and so on, or saying simply, okay, I know what's best for you, I will simply force you to do this, and Galadriel, you will be my queen, and so on. Technically, he's not wrong with this. Same time, stronger and promising her things. We see a few cool scenes of the dagger. Yeah, it's it's smaller and finer worked, but yeah, you get the idea at least. Yeah, and getting Storm, and his voice gets evil. Okay, and then cut, and she's back in reality, and Elrond says, wait, Galadriel, it's me. Pause. Not logic. For us, the viewer, and in this sequence, it makes sense. But if this would be real, and in there you see Galadriel in the river, Elrond goes there, wakes her up, and she's like, Rah! You wouldn't say, stop, it's me, it's Elrond. You would simply go back and say, what the fuck, what are you doing? Because saying, wait, it's me, Elrond, he is implementing, knowing that she thinks that he is somebody else. Huh? So Elrond kind of is informed more than he could be that she thinks that he isn't Elrond, or that he is pretending somebody to be, or that he is another illusion or something like this. So yeah, you get the point. Not much. Prove it. He shall prove it. Why? She doesn't tell him that he's Elrond, and Elrond is going back, but later on he will understand it. Yeah, and then we come to this year, and obviously good reason to build it, and very cool, and I like it. And this then will be forever in the rings, and in Lord of the Rings, Gandalf has one, Elrond has one, and Galadriel has one. I think the white one goes to Galadriel, I think the blue one goes to Elrond, and the red one, the red stone, goes to Gandalf, but might be wrong. I'm assuming now Elrond, Galadriel, and the king, obviously, and then the king ring will go later on to Gandalf. But Celebrimbor was simply saying, okay, we need gold and silver from wherever you know this. We need this. We need exactly that dagger that means that much to you. And I'm like, okay, in your whole kingdom you have nothing else with gold and silver from there. Yeah, so storytelling wise very cool, but logic wise she wouldn't. No reason to melt down your dagger. There's enough gold and silver. And from now on, this stranger is very smart. He got his mind back. I really liked the talking, really liked the dynamic between them two. Kind of the Gruffalo, don't know if you know this, but this big beer monster thing, and the little mouse, and the mouse is walking through the forest, and the Gruffalo is walking behind her, and all enemies are scared by the Gruffalo, but the mouse thinks now that she's so powerful, and them two walking through. And I really like this, and I'm really looking forward to season 2, season 3, when they are kind of having their side quest, looking for the origin of the wizards and discovering all this. They will have adventures, and basically this could be a series on their own. Would watch it, really enjoy this ironical, they are kind of bullying each other a little bit, hopefully, and kind of, yeah, this will be very cool. music. And the friend of Nori stays. I was 95% sure that she would go with them and that we would have another Samwise and Frodo story, but actually she's staying and I really like this, and she will now guide the people. She will be the new Maddock, Nadok, no, you know what who I mean. Yeah. But the Harfoots will simply go on and hopefully will settle down eventually on Green Hills. Actually, they are already on Green Hills. Like, they might already be pretty close to their future home. And the saying goodbye to the family was a bit long for a lot of you probably, but I really enjoyed it. Had a few sand corns in my eyes. And she says that she listened to her father always, to all his advices and so on. Really, that was, yeah. They probably, like the parents and so, they won't get that much screen time in the next seasons, I'm assuming. From time to time, like Nori is obviously main character and her theme is like beautiful, like the music a lot. And yeah. Then again copied from Samwise and Frodo with I want to go, but now that it's starting, I'm not sure whether I want to go, and I've never been this far away from home and so on. But she's not alone, she got a wizard, the freaking most powerful being there. Right now, probably more powerful than Halbrand. Like a 1v1 Halbrand versus a stranger right now. Stranger. Daniel Wayman, like the actor. And they made a good job between kind of human big and hobbit, a half-foot small, perspective-wise. Really good camera work. Just like in Lord of the Rings. None better obviously now, but back then with less budget, what Peter Jackson did will always be incredible. But yeah. Yeah. Follow your nose, go where your heart tells you, let's go. And then beautiful music, and you see the Harfoots, and you see green lands, and the camera going over them, and then going to Nori and the stranger. Yeah, good vibes. Amazing. And they will go through mountains, they will see stone giants, they will see orcs, they will see all the whole world, and we will go with them, and that's, yeah, cool. Kind of also what the mother said. First the mother said, no, don't do it and don't risk it and so on, and then she said, no, discover the world, be hungry. Yeah, then the dagger gets melted down. Yeah, Galadriel is very sad. Can't we use something else? Another piece of gold? We don't need that much. They could even cut away a bit. True. They could take away like the tip and make the rings out of this. Didn't think about this yet. Like they could make 200 rings out of these. Okay, no, not 200, but yeah. No, the dagger is gone. You see the very last sequences of it. It's kind of the glue gun. Make it with glue gun and then put it in an oven. You will see the same effect of, oh no, with aluminium. You know, you can, I don't know, but yeah. Then again, obviously now how Halbrand is gone, but he made his job. He manipulated all very smart elves. Maybe it's necessary to have that much melted material, silver and gold. By the way, she got 3 pearls, like white pearls. What happened to them? Are they now melted in there as well? Can white pearls melt? Yeah. Elrond is throwing his mithril in there. Really enjoyed this. And turning table. This was interesting. The melted dagger with the mithril in there turning got obviously the Sauron eye. Already teaser for Halbrand, Sauron. Yeah, and then creation of the rings. Really like this. Waiting and then forging scenes and a lot of amount of detail. Elrond figures out that Halbrand is Sauron. And then the gemstones. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. This is like so cool. And the rings are done. And Galadriel is there, and without saying anything, now she knows, okay, Elrond and I, we are on the same team. We know now we have to fight against Halbrand. Seeing the rings, amazing. Sequence Galadriel, sequence Elrond looking at each other. And then camera shot at the rings. And then last shot, Halbrand arriving to Mordor. Again, they will have to pay attention or watch out that the evil guy is not kind of the coolest guy, which he is already, and the most interesting guy. But we see a lot of orcs, camps, and then it ends, and a lot of you probably didn't pay attention to this, but the music in the end, you see the writing already and by J.R. Tolkien and so on, but listen to that song, because that's another brilliant move by the makers, I think. Because if you think about it, millions of people watching this simply want to watch it and get entertained and have, each Friday, and back then maybe I watched the movies, but I'm not that much into it. But if they heard this song, they actually now might understand, ayo, there is an actual freaking brilliant storyline behind all of this. They might remember, I remember, like, there were like these 9 black riders, where they called Nazguls or whatever, and the dwarves got rings as well, and so on. And obviously we, the very hardcore fans, we know all this, but I think by adding this song in the end, Amazon added at least 25% of all viewers, because of this, now might watch the movies again, might really dive into it, might really get interested in it, might really understand, might read the book, might really, wow, this storyline is brilliant, and then might come back for season 2. That was a pretty smart, pretty good move. I really enjoyed it, like the song, and it's the text is out of the book too, and even this somebody, wow, like a few episodes weren't that good, but like the episode is called Gebunden in English. I'll write it here, whatever it means in English, but that is what the ring does to the people. It is what Sauron does to all people in Middle Earth. So a lot of thought. All episode watching just for episode 8, definitely worth it. Watching the movies again and so on. Episode 8, wow, really enjoyed it. The Harfoot versus the Stormtroopers versus the white wizard ladies. Yeah, that was not that good, but it kind of started a cool storyline with the stranger and Nori and so on, so that was okay. But creation and Halbrand and future, like so much potential and so much, such a cool amount of detail, and very happy, can't wait for it. Next good series that will come is Mandalorian season 3. Very cool, we'll definitely talk about it. A lot will come. I can build whatever you want for you guys, so tell me there. And but yeah, like I know Lord of the Rings. for me, Star Wars is kind of the oldest thing. I used to play with Lego Star Wars like with 1 or 2 years old. Since then, since my whole life. And Harry Potter as well, massive. Percy Jackson, massive. And Lord of the Rings as well. Like Lord of the Rings, I was always from the movies. Was always like the most thing where I wasn't allowed to watch it as a child. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Hello. So yeah. Meanwhile, you've seen this. You should have seen a lot of the building footage. And maybe you recreated it. Make it a little bit smaller. Like, yeah. Don't know how long this is, but that's a Gladius and not a dagger. But you get the idea by this. And yeah, maybe you now have a cool thing, prop from this series, from season 1, and we'll add a lot of these for the next seasons. I could make the rings. Where did I put now the... No! Ah! Put it off the ring. But technically I could make, like I have small strings and so on, we could build the rings as well, easily, like very big. Obviously the smaller the thing is, the build is. If you're interested, tell me. I could actually build all the rings, like, and show you how. Maybe find a cool way of cutting plastic or glass even. Like we might just, if you find some blue glass, white glass and red glass, and then silver draht. Yeah, I've drawn and so on. Just tell me what you want to see. I'm very motivated, very happy. Got some time for this, and yeah, it's working pretty well. The interest is increasing, like if you are actually enjoying this. So yeah, we'll continue. And if you enjoyed this whole talk and weird opinion, not too weird. I think this episode was what most things I said, most people would agree to, kind of. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you had a lot of fun, and I'll see you in the next one. And till then, bye bye.